Hey, everybody. Happy Saturday. Glad to see y'all in the building so late. Okay, I appreciate y'all, especially because it's the holiday season. And I know y'all got to cook and shop and do things with your family. But if you're here, come on right here and help a sister out. Don't cheat the diva. Hit the like button, people. Hit the like button. Listen, last night the train didn't pull out because I went to support the color purple. Yes, I did. I went to support. I hope y'all going to support. I was able to go to a pre-screening with a group. Okay, nice group. They got the pre-screening and I was in the building. And many of you was like, Diva, how was it? Go support the color purple because Taraji needs your money and your support. Okay, Taraji needs your money. Now, this is just me in general. I'm just going to say this in general. In general, I think that you shouldn't touch a classic. That's what I think. But I'm not the expert on anything, okay? That's just my thoughts. We come over here for each other's thoughts, okay? We ain't saying we're expert on anything. These are just our thoughts. And we like to have fun with our thoughts. I feel like don't touch a classic. Unless you could do like Whitney Houston did, well, I Will Always Love You. Because I want to say, who's the singer that sung that first? Dolly Parton. Whitney Houston shut that song down. On that note, you could do it over. You can mess with a classic. Yeah, who else did something over and they did it really well? Okay, I forgot. I'm trying to think here. Like you can't redo Billie Jean if you're not going to do it more iconic than Michael Jackson did it himself. You got to roll easy when you want to touch a classic. Okay, come on. Turn the beat around. Come on, don't touch a classic. You can't do that. Mess around and touch a classic and then it's not good. That's not a good thing. So overall, I'm just saying, go see The Color Purple. Support. Because allegedly, and she's on the docket tonight, Oprah Winfrey don't like to pay. Now, many people is like, calm down. Oprah is not the one responsible for giving the people their money. I don't know how that industry works. Oprah's an executive producer. I don't know if she was in charge with the budget. But you know how when the rumor mill starts, they get haywire and go crazy. But they say Oprah don't like to pay. Oprah lowballed the people. That's what they're saying. Didn't give the people their due money, their right cash. So Oprah's participating in black on black crime. Got Taraji out here crying to her girlfriend. They are dragging Oprah for filth in these streets. Because Oprah didn't pay the people to do the remake of The Color Purple and got them touring every city and every state and every town promoting The Color Purple. And they said Oprah, she was in New York, and when they went to The View to promote The Color Purple, Oprah had a conflict in the schedule. Was it a conflict? Or did she want to avoid Whoopi Goldberg because she did Whoopi dirty, allegedly? Now, I thought they had me thinking Whoopi wasn't in the movie. Whoopi was in the movie. But if you blinked your eyes, you would have missed her. Blinked the eyes, you would have missed her. She delivered Silly's one of her babies. Yes, she did. So Whoopi was there. And I like Whoopi Goldberg. She's an amazing actress. If you like Whoopi, name some of her movies in the chat. Give Whoopi her flowers while she here. I love Whoopi Goldberg. And Whoopi Goldberg can make Sister Act 25, and I'm going to go see it. I'm a support. I loved all those Sister Act movies. Yes, I did. And then you know what? We got to do this, Marcellus Wiley. You know what's interesting to me? What's interesting to me is all of these essay cases are being heard and getting steam. His kind of went under the radar. Now listen, I don't know him that well either. The reason why I recognize his name is because his wife is now on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Come on, Sister Act. Holler to the Sister Act fans. Come on now. Okay. So Marcellus, allegedly, when he was out there at what's the darn university? Why is the name slipping my mind right now? Let me go to my little note here. Columbia University. He was a menace to society. Come on, Ghost. Come on, Whoopi Goldberg. You better name her movies. Give Whoopi her flowers. She's iconic. Okay. So, Marcellus over there was a menace to society at Columbia University. We got to be easy with the words over here on the YouTube. But I'll say this. He was touching the people without permission. I'll say that. But guess what? These people spoke up in real time. Yes, they did. And Columbia University swept it all away under the rug. Oh, yes, I love that movie too. Loved it. Okay. Swept it all the way under the rug. These people should sue until they have to shut Columbia University down. One less Ivy League school. Whatever. We'll be okay. There's some people out here owing those Ivy League schools $200,000 and $300,000 anyway. Shut it down. They ignored the cries of many females to cover up for their star athlete. Wreaked havoc in many people's lives, and now he's walking around and they're destroyed. That's why Jumpin' Jack Flash. Come on now, tell the Oprah movies. Yeah, Monique told us about Oprah. But can I tell you this? Sometimes the first person to speak up is never heard. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't speak up. Stand on business. You better stand on business. Come on. You know what? We had that little rant from King Harris. But you know what? It meant something. He said he's going to stand on business. He don't care if it's his parents that he got to stand on business with or whomever, but he's standing on business. Now, Taraji and you want to know what? I cannot play it, but can I tell you, if you go look at that View, when all of the cast on The View from The Color Purple, they all said they almost didn't do the movie. Whoa. Yeah, they did. They all said they almost did not do the movie, including the director. What the heck? Can I talk to the Black and brown people for a minute? Why do we do each other so dirty? Why? Why do we do that? We're our own worst enemy. Now I need to board this train. Come on now. I need to board this train. What do I need, y'all? I need a what? I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It's Saturday night trending topics, and we got a few days left before the end of the year. But honey, in 2024, it seems like they're not going to let up off of these celebrities' necks. And why do I say that? Because they're claiming that a list is going to come out in 2024 that's going to shake the world upside down and turn it all the way around. They said hundreds of names is on that list, and some may shock us. Now, why all of a sudden they decided to release that list, that who partied with Epstein and Weinstein? I guess they just want everybody to go down. They about to release the list, so they say. Now, before I board this train, I'm about to bring the people on, but let me show y'all something. You know, y'all in the streets, in the YouTube streets, and the social media streets, y'all are crazy. Look what they done did here. They said TD Jakes in party at Diddy's house. I cannot with y'all. Okay? I cannot with y'all. They said TD Jakes was at the parties too. Woo, woo, woo. Time will tell. Oh my goodness. We're going to just get on board. Let me board this train because I cannot. Hey, in my opinion.
Hey, Diva. Choo choo.
Choo choo. Hey, Dr. Love. Hey, Wayne. Hey, Felicia. Hey, Tay.
Hello.
Julius. Hey, Denzel.
Good evening.
Hey.
Okay, y'all, listen. We're going to get into this. Let's talk Oprah Winfrey. I told y'all I gave my support now. I hope y'all going to support The Color Purple. All right. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to do a poem in a minute. Let me know in the chat. Y'all going to support The Color Purple? You got to support. Taraji out here, ready to file for the Medicaid, the social services, the EBT card, because she said the industry is doing her dirty, a.k.a. Oprah, doing her dirty and not paying her the right amount of money, okay? Yeah, ooh. Why didn't she stand on business from Benjamin Button? She know how, child. Listen, I will say this, y'all. We do have a role in our situation. Yeah,
and
we
she
do.
won an Oscar for that role too.
We got a role in our situation. We got to participate in our negotiations too. She said I almost walked away, but then she didn't. All right. So let's go here. Let's talk Oprah, okay? Oh my goodness. Let's talk Oprah. So Oprah's under fire over treatment of the Black actors. They saying Oprah doing her own people dirty. Okay. So Oprah Winfrey has come under fire following Taraji P. Henson's remarks on the pay gap for Black actors in Hollywood. Henson appeared on Gayle King's SiriusXM show on Wednesday to promote her latest film, The Color Purple, which Winfrey co-produced. The 53-year-old actor broke down while discussing, the pay discrepancy, saying that she's been lowballed her entire career. Says she's tired. She's worked so hard, being gracious at what I do. Okay, not getting paid a fraction of the cost. She said, I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over. You get tired. I hear people go, you work a lot. Well, I have to because the math ain't mathing. The timing of the conversation made movie fans suspicious. See, these people, they like to throw out the breadcrumbs. And then we have to pick them up and try to fill in the blanks. Okay, so social media users suggested that Winfrey is underpaying Henson and her Black co-stars, including Fantasia and the Little Mermaid star Halle Bailey, on The Color Purple, despite evidence for the assertion. Okay. Reading between the lines, Oprah and company don't pay Black actors, one person said on Twitter. Tough to be a billionaire if you pay folks fairly. Okay, so they trying to say she wouldn't have all that money if she was giving people their right pay. Oprah is one of the richest Black women in the world, having a voice on prominent projects where Black women have complained. Monique and Taraji about pay, but not using it. But not using it is something. That's another person said. Another reason why I don't get why people put her on a pedestal. LOL. She would sell out her mama for a check. Oh my gosh. Oprah's skin is Black, but she moves like the rich white man her wealth has allowed her to be. However, others defended Oprah. Okay. Do you believe Oprah is paying these actresses directly out of her pockets? Okay, that's Oprah with the cast promoting the movie. Oprah had nothing to do with it. If the studio executives that said and have the power of that, another person said, just because you're an executive producer doesn't mean you have the final say. And the studios, not the EPs that pay the actors their salaries, agreed Allison Parker. Educate yourself next time before speaking on something you obviously know nothing about. In an interview with Gayle King, Henson admitted she had considered quitting acting because of low pay. She's only human, the Empire Star said. It seems every time I do something and break another glass ceiling, when it comes time to renegotiate, I'm at the bottom again. And she said, I'm tired. She said some other stuff. Now, I'm not going to continue to go through all of this, but they went also to The View to promote it. Okay? And The View, and at The View, the cast gave Whoopi Goldberg her flowers. All of them sat up there and said, you know what? We couldn't do it. Now, Oprah claims she didn't go to The View, interview because she had a scheduling conflict. But everybody said that wasn't so. Her conflict was with Whoopi Goldberg. Her conflict is because they claim Oprah lied. Oprah lied as to the reason why Whoopi didn't have a bigger role in The Color Purple. And then people found out she lied. Now, we're not going to act like Oprah doesn't lie, because at first Oprah said she wasn't on the Ozempic. Then she turned around and said, yeah, I took a medication. She didn't name Ozempic. I took a medication for weight loss. Girl, which one is it? So it's easy to believe that the little sprinklings and rumors about Oprah in the streets is true because we have caught Oprah in some lies. In my opinion, your thoughts?
Oprah gonna be Oprah.
Oh, shoot.
I don't hold Oprah at no high standards. I really don't. I think Oprah gonna be Oprah. I can't say nothing else, Steve. Oprah gonna be Oprah.
Now, let me just ask you this. Do you think Oprah, though, is the one, out of all fairness, responsible for who gets paid what in The Color Purple?
I think she's definitely in the talks. I don't think it's her final say, but I think she's definitely in the boardroom with them when they talking. Because you have to talk about a budget, you have to talk about how much you're willing to pay these people. So I think she was in the talks. I don't know if she was the final say or not, but I do know Oprah is gonna be Oprah.
All right, well, you set it up there.
Look at Post Edmond over there.
Ooh, I will say this too. They said that Oprah got the budget raised from 50 million to 100 million, but I guess it didn't go to the people. I guess it went into production. I don't know. Wayne, you're up.
I don't believe it. You ain't gonna tell me you one of the richest women in the world and you sitting at the table and you ain't got the last say so. Come on now.
Oh.
I think they're gonna do, and just what Oprah say. And the people, they probably weren't getting paid right, all those people, and then you say they gotta promote the movie. I don't. That's a lot of work. And to us, I mean, like I heard Taraji when she was saying 150 million, and she was breaking it down how it gets disseminated. 150 million. Then the government take half of it, and then her staff, whatever, they take 30% of the 150 million. Then all the other stuff,
For her was 10 million. The budget for the movie went from 50 million to 100 million. But go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Well, what was she talking about, Taraji? She said.
It was
maybe she was talking in general.
Said if you get paid 10 million, she said she only gets 5 million, and then after that 5 million, she got to pay the staff, but the staff is getting paid off of the $10 million number. So she said you end up with nothing. But go ahead.
Oh, I don't believe that. I find it hard to believe. I don't think you're doing all this work and you ain't getting nothing. I don't know if this is a poor planning on your money or what. And all this crap talking about she gonna quit acting, she lying. If this is all you've been doing all your life, you ain't gonna quit.
Oh my God.
So, and I think Oprah a little messy with these people's money. I think she got to say so who gonna get what, how much I think she got the last say so how the money is dibbed up. I just find it hard to believe she's one of the richest women in the world and she's sitting at the table eating cake. Sipping water while they drinking wine. No, tell that to somebody else. Did you say, Diva, didn't you say money was king?
Yes.
If money is king, then Oprah's the queen. Okay.
Oh my God. All right now. Julius, your thoughts. Do you think Oprah is responsible for them not getting paid correctly on The Color Purple. They're blaming Oprah right now.
I do believe Oprah is responsible to a point. It's also on the studio. But from Taraji down, who are they looking to help them advocate for more pay? Oprah. Oprah let them down.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Let's just keep it real. She only listens to money. And she knew what they were doing and she was good with it. And I heard that the reason why the whole entire cast didn't want to have anything to do with it was because that Oprah went to the other executive producers and said that Whoopi didn't want anything to do with the movie. And she especially said to Fantasia, "Oh, Whoopi didn't want anything to do with it."
Okay.
And Fantasia was devastated.
Oh my gosh.
So probably when Whoopi and Fantasia talked, Fantasia realized that wasn't the case. Oprah been messy. Case in point, what about her school?
Oh no! Oh, whoa! We ain't doing that tonight. Oh my gosh!
Okay. So, and it's just like, even though yes, Taraji probably needs to hire new management or probably needs to think about probably looking into her management. But Oprah definitely has a responsibility to these women, especially when she's their mentor. They all said it. So she knows better.
All right. Okay. Ooh. Tay, how you feeling about Oprah? The streets are mad at her.
I agree with Julie and, in my opinion, what they said, Diva, because Oprah, I told that I'm not a fan of Oprah at all.
Oh my. Ooh.
Why? Because what she did to the other people, that's why.
Okay.
And tell that, like I said, last time I was here, Diva, pay what you owe me. Don't act like you ain't forgot. Where's my money at?
All right. I hear you. All right now. Thank you. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Felicia.
Hey, good evening, everybody.
Hey.
For all the non-haters of people who work hard and aren't illegally, morally obtaining their wealth, happy Christmas to you. Oprah ain't did nothing but work hard, get good counsel, have great accountants, incredible attorneys, listened, implemented, planted her seeds, so that at the age of 70, she's a billionaire and she's a happy one. Okay? Don't be hating on these folks. Y'all been going after the billionaires now for a week. They can't catch a damn break. They're not going to be giving the money back to the people. They're not going to be toys for tots. They're not coming to your neighborhood. They're not going to be emailing you gift cards from Amazon. And it's all right, because we're going to be okay. Now, Julius, you know I love you. But let's talk about that school since you put it out there.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. That school in South Africa, when Oprah opened that school, she had to hire people to run the school because she was still running her own show.
Yeah.
And she trusted that she had hired good people, that she had done all the vetting and all the setting up. And unfortunately, like a lot of things in life, there was a rogue in the mix.
Yeah.
And that person ended up hurting people. But that wasn't Miss O. Okay. Now I'm going to agree with Wayne. Yeah, I believe Oprah was at that table, and hell no, she wasn't up there just eating cake. She She could have spoke up a bit more. She could have been more forceful. I appreciate what you said, Diva, that it went from 50 to 100.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they needed to give more to the women working on this film.
Right.
I don't think the director didn't get paid. At least he wasn't acting like he didn't get paid. I don't know.
That's facts. He wasn't
But
acting.
I think it's unfortunate. I just think it's unfortunate. And for my young sisters in that middle row and in the back, when it comes to you negotiating your fair wages, have things defined. Be clear in what you need and what you're worth, so that you're not 22 years in the game, because all these women 22 years in the game out here crying and behaving badly. We don't want that for you. And we know God don't want that for you.
Mm-hmm.
He wants you to be prosperous. He wants you to be happy. He wants you to have a good life. Anybody else? Because I know Dr. Love down there. Don't come from a girl now. Okay.
Okay, I'll try not to.
Listen, Sandy,
love you too, Miss Felicia.
You know what, Sandy 2 cents? You put a good question in the game here. I like this. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. She said, I find it strange that Taraji chooses this moment to go off. Why didn't she ever go off on all the white execs in charge of her prior projects? Well, woo!
Needs to rearrange her management.
You put a little smoke in the game. Yes,
I agree with that.
She put a little smoke in the game, and I agree with that. Hold on one second. Coming to you, Denzel. But the budget for this Color Purple was around $100 million, which puts pressure on its success. The production team considered big names stars like Beyonce and Rihanna, but ultimately cast other talent actors. Why? Because they wasn't paying nobody. They wasn't going to pay no Rihanna and Beyonce money. Who they kidding? They wasn't going to pay Rihanna and Beyonce money. Beyonce done made $1 gazillion on her Renaissance tour. You think she was going to come do the Color Purple for $1 like Taraji did?
Right.
Denzel.
Well, for Tahaji, she should have listened what Monique said, because Monique, she tried to tell people how Monique tried to tell people how Oprah really is, allegedly. And listen, a lot of people, I don't know if it's true, it's alleged, but a lot of people saying that Oprah is an evil woman, allegedly. And some people don't even call her Oprah, they call her Okra. So some people, and I'm gonna just say this very quickly. This is alleged too, Diva, but some people think that Oprah is in cahoots with her friend Harvey Weinstein, allegedly. And that I don't know if that's true or not, but that's being alleged. And do I believe she's in charge of paying, making the checks? I don't know, but it's a lot of unkind, evil stuff about Oprah, allegedly, and that's it, and that's all.
I appreciate you, Denzel. Ooh, okay now. Dr. Love.
Okay, yes, let's talk about it. So, do I think Oprah have something to do with their pay? Of course she does. Um, she's one of the higher ups of the movie, this, and that. Do I blame her for Taraji? No. I hope I'm saying her name right. But for them younger girls that don't know, yes. Okay. But Taraji, you've been in the game too long. And one thing, nobody can watch and do your money better than you. So I'm gonna give a good example. If you flip a house, right, you automatically know your realtor getting 7% of whatever it sell for.
Mm-hmm.
The person who is the loan officer, they get 6% of whatever it sell for.
Mm.
Then you have to account for fixing it up and for mistakes. So you may get got 2-3 times in a real estate game, but you can't say I'm 20 years in and I'm still not counting backwards to make sure my money right, making sure I buy a house at the right price. So
Mm-hmm.
when I sell it, so if the buyer asks me for closing costs, if you Taraji did not factor all this in from that $2 million, that's on you. But I feel like Taraji felt like she wasn't Oprah struck. I can say that. She over that part. Okay. But I do feel like she felt like this is iconic. We about to make history again. So I think that's why she took the part. But you have to also look to Taraji at how many people turned it down. They played a head game with her too as well to say, oh, y'all still have to try out. Y'all still have to do this and do that. She shouldn't have failed for none of that. So you wonder why, and this is what I want to talk about, 50 Cent comes for their neck. So I don't know if y'all remember when Oprah was first getting at school, who she had in Africa with her. She had 50 Cent, Jay-Z, and what is my one who smoked weed? What is his name?
Chris
Snoop
Um,
Tucker.
Dogg.
No,
Snoop
you got
Doggy Dog.
Snoop
Snoop
Dogg.
and Snoop. Them was the 4 people she wanted to invest with her. Every last one of them men pulled out. Okay?
Woo!
Every last one of them pulled
Talk
out.
Wait,
about
wait.
it.
She wanted the rapper she would never interview on her show to invest with her.
Come on.
You don't
Come on.
say.
Come on.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
Every
God.
last one of them pulled out. But let's pay attention. After they pulled out, she tried to come for 50. That's a no-no. She tried to come for Jay-Z when him and B was going cross country on a boat with money. Who really told on them? Okay? Who really told on them? This was right after people pulled out of this deal. And to me, I don't think Snoop really had the money, which I don't know. So I can't speak for Snoop pockets either.
Right.
But all I can say is they pulled out. She was on this African mission. We need to all move to Africa, get land there, da 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 da. She tried to get all the stars at first, but the ones who had common sense, they didn't mess with her. They
Mm.
did not mess with her. And as actress and people, they got to pay attention to this type of stuff. If I'm a person on the side paying attention to all this dirtiness, like everybody not saying you dirty and evil, and nothing is true, and been saying it for years on years on years on years. And you always seem to hook up with the dirtiest producers, the dirtiest this, the dirtiest that. Yeah, if I wish them girls would have been together and said, "No, we're not taking this role until y'all pay us." I wish they would have.
Oh my goodness, you done gave some info on Oprah Winfrey. Sandy 2 cents is very connected with Felicia's thought process tonight. She said, I'm going to treat Taraji like Christian Keys. Drop the names of the people who did you wrong without insinuating Oprah is solely responsible for her breakdown. Whoo! Oh, Leo, you're up.
Hey y'all, I got a lot going on in here tonight. I got everybody outside. They shut
Hey,
down the music so I can get on the trade. I thought they trade. Okay, because I love y'all. I love my
We
YouTube.
love you back. We love you back. Oh, what you
Yeah.
gotta say? What you gotta say?
So, look, I'm of several different minds. I'm gonna take another track.
Okay.
I kind of am insulted a lot of times when Black folks catch wealth and they get in the sphere of millionaire, multimillionaire, billionaire status, and people around talking about how they need to spend their money and how they need to treat people.
Right. Okay.
Y'all ain't up on Steven Spielberg talking about how he need to pay the people.
Oh.
Y'all ain't on George Lucas talking about how he need to pay the people.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay, y'all ain't on Tyler Perry how he need to pay the people, and
Okay.
we know he ain't really paying the people. But okay,
You speaking facts? You speaking facts? Okay, come on.
That's right. Keep going, Leo. That's right, girl.
So okay, I'm gonna rock with that. I'm gonna let that part slide. We're gonna still give the flowers to Stedman because Stedman, y'all, we ain't never caught Stedman in them streets. We ain't never caught all the girls he may have had while he been with Oprah for 30, 40 years. He know how to keep his slate clean.
The hairdresser.
Yep. So, I ain't saying, but he may have, but we ain't found out, and it ain't no pictures. So, they know how to do something right. I ain't saying she is perfect and she is immaculate, but it is amazing to me how people show up on the Twitters and on the social media saying what she need to do with her money and who she need to do it for. That's her money. That's her money. She is over the production. A producer is the person who invests in the money for the picture. They advocate for the funds to be able to get to the production or to produce the movie. So that was her job. Now, I don't know who figured out who need to get paid what, but I will say this. The complaining about the money and getting paid, that happened on The Real. This was when The Real was in production. Taraji was on there, and she did an example, not of $150 million, but she did what she got paid for the Benjamin Button job. She got paid $150,000. So what she said was the government got 50%. She got $75,000. Her team got a 30%, not of the $75,000 that she got, but they got 30% of the $150,000. And she said it clearly. I'm not coming for my team. I need that simply because they created the opportunity for me to be there. My only point about that is that just like Felicia says, and she tells us this all the time, and she schools us all the time on workplace behavior, workplace advocacy, and workplace negotiations. You really have to advocate for yourself. If your money ain't been right for 22 years,
oh my,
who fault that is?
Oh my goodness. Woo.
Who fault that is?
Facts and facts.
Whew.
So just like the girls in the back, the girls in the middle, the folks in the front,
right?
Pay attention to your own money. I had to tell a young boy, my young mentor that's training me on my job, they don't know when he getting paid, don't know what his hours are. I was like, look, baby, keep up with your pay. You are the one that is responsible to make sure you're not getting cheated on your hours. Stop looking for other people and say to you, this is what you're supposed to be getting paid and you're not keeping up. Because then once you're getting shorted, then you short. You got to keep up with your own money. It is, if you work every day, pay attention to your hours. Pay attention to what you get paid. It is no one else's responsibility but your own.
Right.
But sometimes you do need to be schooled. Because I can say when I was at the hospital, another medical professional schooled me. And especially when you first coming in.
Oh, well, Leah, you done said a word. All right. All I can say is wow. Emmanuel, you're up.
Hey, Diva. Thank you, because I'm pissed.
Oh.
What we're not gonna do is try and come at Oprah, the queen.
The queen.
Yes.
Okay.
Oprah needs to be respected while she's still here because she is one of the few legends who are still living.
Okay.
She is one of the most influential rags to riches stories out there. I know it's easy for people to say, well, she's rich. She doesn't care. No, it wasn't easy for her to get rich. It wasn't easy for her to get where she is. Like, forget about race, just as a woman achieving what she has achieved, being a billionaire. We should be making statues of her, and like she should be on a dollar bill or something, because she is a great example of why we need to motivate ourselves and that we can do it. At the end of the day, even though she worked hard and became extremely successful, that doesn't mean she can solve the entire world's issues. she have no money. She took care of every single issue going around. I think Taraji spoke in a very inappropriate time.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna need her to believe in herself.
Oh my
and
gosh.
have a couple of meetings to get her an agent who believes in her and gets her what she deserves, because I just pulled up in Wikipedia that her first film was in 1998.
Come on.
It is 2023, almost 2020.
Ooh, you bringing the math in it, because she said the math ain't mathing. Oh my God. So the math ain't mathing either for us with her. Okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
Yes. So her first film was in 1998, and her first TV show was actually in 1997.
Okay.
And she has a very long list in her filmography. So she needs to wake up and fight for her pay.
What was her role in 1997?
Well, wait, let him finish. Go ahead.
I do like Taraji, and I do think she's a very talented actress. But at a certain point, you gotta work, and I mean, you gotta fight for what you deserve.
Right.
So,
I'm gonna recant my statement.
Hold on one second. Sandy, thank you so much for the super chat. Taraji must be giving her money to baby boy. People out here worried about layoffs, and Taraji wants us upset about her wanting more millions. Woo!
JD.
Could I say one more thing when y'all get done?
How you feel, and thank you for the super chat. Woo woo woo. Denzel, you're up.
You came to me.
I did. Okay, did I
Yeah.
get anybody on this subject?
Not what's her name in the Tay, not Tay.
I think Tay talked about this, right? Yeah, she did. She did.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I think we got everybody on this subject.
Well, I mean, if you want me to go again, I'll go again. And thank you to everybody for standing up for the queen and for the folks who worked hard and didn't do anything incredibly illegal nor immoral to earn their billions. Okay? Thank you.
come on, Miss Felicia. Come on. Tell the people.
Oh,
Woo woo woo.
I got one other thing to say about Taraji, and that. Okay, so here is another fact with her doing almost 500 episodes as Cookie. So when she was up there crying, she felt after she done that and took that position from Monique, okay, that she was supposed to have been retired. Okay. And that's how she feel at this point. I think that's where a lot of those tears came from. All those episodes as Cookie, and she played that role to the utmost. And she felt like she's supposed to be retired. I would feel the same way. Yeah.
Ooh, she played Cookie, but you know what though? I heard they wasn't really getting paid much on that show either. That was a Daniels production. Right. Yeah. Ooh, all right. You know, they said Raheem said Taraji is the GOAT. Okay. Well, how much of a GOAT can you be if you don't know how to negotiate your salary, which should be 101, and you've been more than 23 years in the business, as Emmanuel has said.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah.
True.
Facts.
I did not know that.
Facts.
Okay, so thank you for the information about Dr. Jackie putting out her statement, because she's another one. I was going to have her on here, but I had to add. I wanted to cut it down to 2 stories. But she's another one. Diarrhea of the mouth. Straight diarrhea of the mouth.
She was crying in that video.
No excuse whatsoever for what she said, and she keep trying to backtrack it. But you know why? Because she knows that people are pissed and they want her job.
They will cancel her. Cancel culture will cancel her.
Yeah. All right, we got to get into this Marcellus Wiley and this Columbia University. And hold on one second, guys. Let me read this. Thank you, Emma Smith, for the super chat. She said, I would love it if Black actors, directors, writers get together to do their own thing. But they will come for you if you try. Bill Cosby, Wesley Snipes. Well, no, see, Tyler Perry is doing his own thing. But let's be clear. Tyler Perry's another one where they say, quiet as is kept, that he don't pay the people either.
Facts.
Tyler Perry
pay their light bill. Come on now.
Well, boom, there it is. Okay, so Tyler Perry ain't paid either. So it seems like the answer is not so much, but this would have to be another video in and of itself, right? It seems like sometimes we are our own worst enemy. When I'm just, doing a scenario here. I rise up to the top. I don't send the messages back down to the people to say, listen, watch
Come
out
on.
for these pitfalls. Listen, when you get to this door, ask them for this amount of money. This is what I got. Try to get more. We don't do that.
Yes, the medical field, we stands together.
They don't do that. They want to see you struggle like they did. It's sad. It's sad how we do each other. It's very sad. I feel like this is just Diva talking. I feel like that's why we can't get nowhere as a people. You know, I worked for a community one time, right? And when they like you, they will let you in on the information. They tell their people what bank to go to, how much the interest rate is over here. You go over there when you want to buy your house because they're going to help you get the loan and the right mortgage and the this, that, and the other. And some of them will, for the most part, support and put all of their money back into their community. I've seen it. They have the bakery in their community, the cleaners in their community, the bank in their community, and most of their money stays within the community. But I will say this, but again, I got to get to Marcus because this is a whole nother story in and of itself. Sometimes it is hard to support those within our community because they do us dirty and rip us off. They think they can show up whenever. But I paid you and we signed a contract. They think they can show up whenever, do whatever, and give you whatever product at the end and don't care how they would give it to you. But I personally feel they wouldn't do that with somebody else they signed a contract with. Overall, we got to get it together. I hired a photographer one time. I did not dumb him down. I'm not one of those. If you tell me your price, I'm going to either pay your price or I would just straight look for somebody else. I'm not going to try to say, no, give it to me for $1. I won't do that. You tell me your price. I say, okay, I signed the contract and I expect what the contract says. A photographer came to one of my events one day and it was snowing. Well, you know, in Jersey, sometimes it snows. What am I supposed to do? It was snowing. They looked at their watch. They looked out the window and said, they got to go because it's snowing. I said, woo, woo, woo. And wanted the rest of their money. And I said, hold on 2.2 seconds. My brother, I said, you were supposed to be here XYZ hours. You was only here 1.5 hours. Give me the new price and then I will give you the money and then you can go. You can't expect the same money and you didn't fulfill the contract the way you were supposed to. But we're going to talk about that on another day because now we got to talk about Marcellus Wiley. Now, I don't know how many of you know this individual because I did not really know him. The only reason why I know him, I got to be very honest with you, is because I watched The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But he is an ex-NFL player. Went to Columbia University. Ironically, can you imagine this? Ironically, this man wrote a book called Never Shut Up. How ironic is that? This man wrote a book called Never Shut Up. Yes, he did. And guess what? The victim that he allegedly touched, she never shut up. She kept going to Columbia University saying this man violated me. And really, to be honest with you, according to the lawsuit, they ain't do nothing. They did absolutely nothing but let him stay, graduate, and he probably allegedly terrorized a whole lot of people after that particular individual. Now, let me just see here. M. Smith, thank you for the soup. Oh, I think I read that one already. All right, I just wanted to make sure. Oh, here we go. I didn't miss anything. Sandy, 2 cents. Thanks for the super chat. Rosie O'Donnell told Sherry, everybody's sorry on the view to make sure she knew what they asked for. You know what, Sandy? I saw that story. You are absolutely correct. And Sherry Shepherd even said it. Shout out to Rosie. Because our other fellow people on the View didn't tell Sherry what to ask for.
Rosie been a goon.
Well, hold on 1 second, Julius. Shout out to Rosie for telling Sherry Shepherd, this is what we all making. So when you go to the table, get your worth, girl. Get your worth. I'm going to give Rosie her flowers for that because Sherry Shepherd said it on her show many a times. You are correct. Thank you for giving us throwing that into the conversation. Gwendolyn, thank you so much for the super chat. I will never stand behind anyone 1 toe or 10 toes down for people, especially if I don't know them. I stand 1 to 10 toes on body and soul for God and Jesus. You better holler. I appreciate you and thank you so much for the super chat. And so pretty much what Gwendolyn is saying, I don't put nothing past nobody. I'm going to paraphrase for her. Okay. All right. So let's get into this, Marcellus. I'm going to bring up, give me a minute. I got to make sure because I did some things. I want to make sure I don't show the wrong thing on this here screen. Not going to read the whole thing. Let me see. Where is it? Did I click out of it? Okay. I got to bring it back up. Let me cancel this screen for a minute. I'm going to bring it back up. I'm going to bring back up. I can't believe I clicked out of it. All right. I'm going to bring back up here because I have this file in here. We're going to talk a little bit about it, about this individual saying pretty much what he did. And if you do know of Marcellus, let me know because I'll tell you, I honestly did not know about this man like this. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, I got it. Let me just ease on up. I don't want to show some things on here. Okay. All right. Let me share this screen really quickly. Okay. So there's Marcellus. Okay. So the action arises out of defendant Marcellus Wiley's intentional SA and R of plaintiff defendants. So she's suing him and Columbia University in New York. Okay. For neglect and reckless failure to protect its students and plaintiff in particular against predators and defendant Marcellus Wiley in particular. Okay. And such unconscionable neglect in response to handling of the essay by Marcellus against the plaintiff. Okay. So she's saying the school did not protect her. And she was over 18 years of age at the time. And she's bringing this about. Again, shout out to the person who even did this. Okay. The action is timely pursuant to New York's Adult Survivors Act. Okay. That Adult Survivors Act helped Cassie and many others. Okay. Defendants are liable for intentional and neglectful acts and omissions which resulted in plaintiffs being a victim of SA and resulted in serious psychological, physical, and emotional harm suffered by the plaintiff. Okay. So now Columbia University is out there in New York. It's an Ivy League school. Let me get down to some things here. Okay. So here we go. Number 12. In the fall of 1994, defendant Marcellus Wiley was a Columbia University sophomore and star running back on Columbia University's football team. The plaintiff and defendant Marcellus Wiley became friendly acquaintances at the start of the plaintiff's freshman year at Columbia University, traveling in the same social circles. Unbeknownst to the plaintiff at the time, Columbia University had received multiple before she even met him. If they handled him when they first got all the other complaints, she would have never suffered. He should have been gone. Multiple complaints from females, Columbia University students beginning the fall of 1993. all of which allege that the defender, Marcellus Wiley, has essayed them or are them. On November 18, 1994, plaintiff and defendant Marcellus Wiley met in the dorm room of a friend of a plaintiff's to listen to music. Defendant Marcellus Wiley told the plaintiff he would come to visit her later that evening in her room. Plaintiff responded, "Okay, but I don't have sex. I'm a virgin." Defendant Marcellus Wiley laughed and responded, "Relax, relax. Wow, I don't mean like that. I'm just going to come by there to get some food from grandma's restaurant. So I'll just come up to say hi before I head back." Defendant didn't joke. Didn't joke that nobody liked having sex with virgins. Okay, that's what he said. The plaintiff, feeling embarrassed, apologized and assured defendant that she was just being straight up so that he would not be feel misled. Defendant Marcellus Wiley then stated, "Ain't nobody trying to have sex with a virgin. Okay, don't worry, I got you. Just coming to hang out while I eat. I don't even have condoms on me." A short time later, defendant Marcellus Wiley arrived at the plaintiff's single dormitory room on the 9th floor with his dinner. After a few minutes, defendant pulled plaintiff to him without warning and began kissing her forcefully. Defendant towered over plaintiff. He's 6'4", approximately 250 pounds at the time. Defendant forcibly removed her clothes without her permission. Plaintiff had never been, unclothed in front of another person. He was 250 pounds, then lifted the plaintiff and forced her face down onto the mattress and then climbed on top of her, pinned her face down on the bed, forearm on her neck. Plaintiff could barely breathe and feared for her life. Defendant Marcellus Wiley then essayed the plaintiff, argued her multiple times in a Columbia University dorm room. At one point, after the first time defendant Marcellus Wiley essayed plaintiff managed to get out from under him and moved toward the door, hoping to escape the room. Unable to find her clothes on the floor in the dark room, plaintiff could hear voices in the hallway and was considering fleeing the room naked when defendant stated, "Come back here. Don't make me come over there to get you." Overcome by terror, the plaintiff froze. Defendant then pulled plaintiff back onto the bed and essayed her again. Plaintiff did not consent. Plaintiff was over the age of 18 when this happened. The essay on plaintiff is an essay offense as described by the New York law. A few days later, on November 23rd, 1994, plaintiff invited a friend to her mother's house in Brockton, Massachusetts for Thanksgiving holiday. On a return trip, plaintiff broke down in tears and confided in her friend that the defendant Marcellus Wiley argued her. Plaintiff's friend persuaded plaintiff to go to seek guidance and help at Columbia University's R Crisis Center. When the plaintiff arrived back in New York, she went directly to see the clinical psychologist at the school, the Department of Health Services director at Columbia University and their center, with her girlfriend's encouragement, and she reported what happened. The dean of freshmen took the plaintiff's written statement and then sent plaintiff to the residential dean. The residential dean summoned another administrator who plaintiff had never met. They then reported plaintiff to repeat the allegation in front of the administrator, a man and a total stranger to the plaintiff, after which both Columbia University administrators expressed fondness for defendant Marcellus Wiley. Did you hear that? She's trying to tell her story, and they're like, "Oh, well, Marcellus, we like him." Okay? Administrators expressed doubt that the plaintiff had correctly interpreted the defendant's actions as R and suggested that the event was a misunderstanding. Plaintiff firmly explained that she had been R'd and that the R was not her fault. Astonishingly, the Columbia University administrators didn't inform plaintiff they had spoken to defendant Marcellus and showed him plaintiff's written statement. How I'm going to tell you something happened to me and you going to show somebody the person I'm accusing my written statement? How dangerous is that? Crazy. Administrators told the plaintiff that the defendant was very sad about R-ing the plaintiff because he really liked her, but nonetheless, he disagrees that it was R. The administrator told the plaintiff that in McDermott's opinion, defendant had not actually been armed, okay, because plaintiff was not from America and had therefore misinterpreted the defendant's conduct because people from different cultures interpret things differently. The other administrator did not contact McDermott. In other words, plaintiff's R did not count in Columbia University administrator eyes because her ethnicity, country of origin, and immigration status. Do y'all hear that? This is what Columbia University did. Is this not crazy? All right. Let's see. Columbia University administrators told the plaintiff they would look further into it and that defendant Marcellus Wiley would be disciplined. They explained that Columbia University would not expel defendant, but defendant would be suspended and that the incident and the resulting disciplinary action would go on the defendant's Columbia University record. However, upon information and belief, the Columbia University administrators then instead arranged for the defendant to be placed on academic probation, the basis for which was listed as on defendant records as poor grades rather than SA. So they covered up. The school covered up for him. Defendant Marcellus was required to complete the spring 1995 semester from home in Los Angeles, but was not officially suspended, nor was plaintiff allegation reported to law enforcement by the Columbia University administrators. Over the following month, the plaintiff was advised by other students that defendant Marcellus Wiley had SA several other female students prior to the plaintiff's SA, and that some of the defendant's victims had reported the SA to Columbia University without any meaningful response from Columbia University. During the spring 1995 semester, while defendant Marcellus Wiley was in Los Angeles on academic probation, plaintiff and plaintiff's friend, who had encouraged plaintiff to report it, began receiving harassing telephone calls in which the caller would breathe heavily and then hang up. After several of these calls, the plaintiff went to Columbia University investigator and assistant director of security, James Lynch. Plaintiff told Lynch about the calls and showed Lynch a copy of her written statement. So she has a copy. She got the receipts. Whereupon Lynch, gobsmacked by the Columbia University callous handling of the situation, told the plaintiff that he would take care of it. A few days later, Lynch summoned plaintiff back to his office and told plaintiff that he had spoken to the defendant, that defendant Marcellus Wiley would not be calling the plaintiff again, that when he returned to campus, the defendant would not look at her or speak to her, and that if defendant Marcellus Wiley ever tried to communicate with plaintiff in any way, plaintiff would report to Lynch right away. Plaintiff never received another harassing phone call after Lynch spoke to the defendant. Can you imagine this? A whole Ivy University? Upon information and belief, just 1 month prior to the plaintiff's SA, a female Columbia University student told Deputy Athletics Director Jacqueline that she had been SA by defendant Marcellus Wiley. Upon Blackett, the female student that complained about the assault was likely a waste of time. Blackett said she would tell defendant Marcellus Wiley what the female student had said, but only after Columbia University upcoming football game against Princeton University, because Blackett did not want to interrupt defendant's concentration before a big game. Blackett warned the female to consider her own reputation before repeating the allegation to anybody else. After the aforementioned Princeton game, Blackett did tell defendant Marcellus Wiley about the allegation, after which Blackett told the female student in some instances that the SA was the female student's fault and that Blackett would not take part in derailing a good black man's NFL chances. I'm going to stop there for right now. This is appalling. I mean, it don't get no worse than this. In my opinion, what are your thoughts?
It is sad, but this stuff keeps happening. And the reason it's happening is because the schools cover it up, because they care more about winning games and getting the money from these athletes going pro than the safety and the welfare of women on campus. Marcus Wiley has been a terrorist his whole life.
Oh my God.
And I think he does this intentionally to hurt people. And he knows his actions, but he's got away with it for so long that this is his nature. He's a bigot as well. If you ever hear him talk, he
Mhm.
talks like he has no common sense of what the world exists on. And I have very little sympathy for his wife because she's happy to be an eight in his book.
Mm.
The chat talks about that he has the same views as Candace Owens.
Oh, he's worse than Candace Owens.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. In my opinion, Wayne, you're up.
Um, I feel this is just really sad that some piece of shit
Mm-hmm.
like him going to take this woman's virginity in
Mm-hmm.
such a violent way. This man needs a Lorena Bobbitt in his life. And I think some of the older people you know who Lorena Bobbitt was.
Mm-hmm.
If I had the sharpest straight razor, I'd have no problem passing judgment and cut it off. Before I even heard the rest of the story, I knew this wasn't this man's first rodeo. And since this is such, an elite college, they were looking out for their reputation.
Oh yeah.
They're
Uh,
looking out for their reputation. But it's sad that uh, you know justice is being delayed for this young woman. I don't know why more hasn't been done. I can't imagine this being happening and the police not involved.
they didn't tell the police. You see that? They didn't report it. They didn't report it. They were messy.
Yeah, well, it's not. I don't know the man, but it wasn't hard for me to pass judgment on him.
Mm-hmm. They saying all our universities operate this way. This is sad. I was shocked when I read this.
It does. It's an Alabama player right now that they're giving him the child offenders thing, and he's up here infecting women on campus with STDs.
Oh, they arrested him.
They arrested him, but they're charging him as a child.
Wow.
Is he underage?
He's 19. They're charging him
Oh,
as a child
oh,
offender.
okay.
Ooh, Felicia, your thoughts?
Thank you, Diva, for bringing these complaints, these civil suits, to your subscribers and followers. Hearing Miss Janine's story again, I'm just sickened and I'm sorrowful, and she spoke up. She went right away, and still no justice. And I agree with Wayne. Justice delayed is justice denied. But thank goodness for this look back window law that allowed her to come back again and to file a civil suit. I'd like to share with the panel and the chat. I do live in the New York area, and I was sharing with Diva that on the train and in the subway, they had posters up in the subway saying that if you had been violated by Dr. Robert Hayden, a Columbia University doctor, that it wasn't too late. So Dr. Hayden was at Columbia as their doctor for, I think, about 30 years. And he was accused of essaying dozens of female patients, including multiple minors, under the guise of conducting purported gynecological and obstetric examinations at Hayden's medical offices and at the hospitals in Manhattan.
Wow.
Columbia University, in December of 2021, they agreed to pay $71.5 million to 79 survivors of Hayden's essay. And they made another settlement of $165 million in October of 2022 with an additional 147 more victims. Thus far, over 300 people have come forward to file claim. And I hope that Ms. Janine, who has filed her suit, is victorious as well.
Oh, thank you, Felicia. Emmanuel, your thoughts?
So, usually, I don't like to say how I feel about legal situations until there's some sort of decision made. But in this case, there's something about this story that's very different. The fact that the girl consistently told the university about it and that she has always kept the story the same, and his demeanor, his entitlement to sex, which is something that a lot of guys feel when they're in college, especially if they're a great athlete. My gut is telling me that he is guilty. And yes, this is not the first, probably not the last time a university will cover everything up in order for them to continue to win these championships. So I believe the victim. I know he's really big on conservative, deep state, radical right opinions. And look, that's one thing. As crazy as it is, he can believe whatever he wants. But what he cannot do is what he did to this girl.
Yeah.
It's horrible and it's horrific. I feel bad for the victim. And I will also say this, some people might disagree, but I also feel bad for his wife because I don't think she knew this before she got with him. And I think he might be playing some mind games with her too. Because I don't know if people saw the Beverly Hills episode, but for her to sit up in that confessional and be like, well, I'm so happy that for him, I'm a solid 8. Remember that?
I do, but do I feel sorry for her? I do not. It, whew, your husband's rating you.
That's what I'm saying. What woman will be okay with that? So
The
I feel like
you know what we often talk about over here, Emmanuel, in which I try to get people to connect to. A lot of people are connected to things,
Mhm.
and the things that they will let go in order to have things is what the real problem is. She
Yeah.
loves that big house. She loves the lifestyle.
Like
So
Camille Cosby.
so come on that part. So the disrespect from her husband is nothing to her because it overrides everything as long as she has her things. You see, Mia was good with Gordon until she could no longer get things from him. And then she cut it off. All of a sudden, she's done. She can't stand them. This and that, and the other. It's the things that these people are connected to. Give me 1 second. I'll let you finish. And Smith, thank you so much for the super chat. There was a girl in 2017 who carried a mattress to classes because Columbia wouldn't take her. Oh my goodness, her allegations seriously. I'm gonna have to look that up, M. Smith. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chat. And that's like, wow. Go ahead, Emmanuel. Finish your thought. Are you still
Mm.
there?
Yeah, so I'm thinking Colombia might get a bad reputation after this. But but to go back to that point, yes, like that's why I do feel bad for her because she is willing to stay in that and let her husband rate her. So that's like the sad part about it. But again, I do think this case is different and I do think justice will prevail. That's all.
I hope so too. Thank you. My screen shifted. Did I come to you, Dr. Love? Dr. Love, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
Okay.
here. No, you didn't come to me
Okay.
yet.
So you're
Okay.
up. Mhm.
Okay. So I'm gonna start with I went to a HBCU.
Okay.
So it is this class called Convocation. And I want to say back in the 90s around this time, 92, 93, we all had to take a class called Convocation. And the
Mhm.
freshmen have always came on campus, and I'll say to the HBCUs before any of the other classes got there. But you also know football players are there, athletes and a band as well. So, however, in this class, they tell you do not ever go to this dorm which was the dorm of the football players, by yourself at night as freshmen in HBCU in 92, 93. You guys can look this up. Men and women were not mixed. So that's one thing. And we were told you cannot go into football dorms, basketball dorms. You cannot walk on campus by yourself. Um, and we even had these three guys that was called the sergeant at arms. And they made sure certain things didn't go down at this HBCU. So just to say, now that I hear this and hear a lot of stories, I understand that class now. And it wasn't like a class, because every last freshman was in there and we was mandated to go. So I called it church sometime because we would be singing and things like that. So anywho, now I know the reason because of all the date rapes that happen on campus, all the rapes that happen within that football dorm. Um, and how it was pushed under the
Say
rug.
R and say SA.
Oh, I am so
It's okay.
sorry.
You're fine.
Oh yeah, or how things. Oh my gosh, I
It's
don't
okay.
even like
It's
saying that
okay.
word. Okay, so just to say how things happen, and it was pushed under the rug, for these big time sports players, and we had three NFL players come up out of our school within those years. So I can imagine back then how nothing was reported and how bad it was for young girls, because I remember not so many, but enough girls left school due to the fact that had happened to them. They went over there because, for whatever reason, to see a guy, and this happened, and just devastation happened. But I seen so many girls had to leave school our freshman year because of this. So this is another thing that I feel like if you have a child, even now, going off to school, that you make them aware of this. Because I don't know if they still have these things at the PI schools. I think that's what they're called, and the HBCUs. I just know what they're called. So I don't know if they still have these things in place. So this is real. It's sad. And then it's really sad that I feel like the wife knew this, and you go on to a Real Housewife show. I don't know what she was thinking. Yeah. So, and I'm not sure who else was saying about how bad it is at these universities, or been going on at all these different universities. Yeah, I just don't feel like this is nothing new. It's nothing new. But for these reasons, I thank God for social media, for cameras, for iPhones, for the whole 9 yards that deals with social media. Yes.
Thank you for this story. Cause yes. Well, go ahead to this girl right here. Hold on one second. Let me just play this.
Columbia University visual arts student Emma Solkowitz has been carrying her mattress around with her for about a year. The act has served as both her senior thesis and her statement against the school for not taking action against the individual she says raped her in her dorm room when she was a sophomore. When she began the endurance piece, she vowed that she wouldn't put the mattress down until the person who assaulted her was expelled from the school. Upon graduating on May 19th, she still had it in tow. Several fellow students helped her carry the mattress to the commencement ceremony and across the stage. Whether or not Solkowitz would be able to do so was a question right up until the moment the event occurred. One day before graduation, Columbia allegedly announced that large objects were prohibited from the ceremonial area. The measure was explained as an issue of limited space. Though graduation is over, the inquiry into Columbia's handling of reported incidents of sexual assault is not. It is reportedly one of approximately 90 schools currently being investigated by the federal government.
Good
Wow,
God.
90 schools? Wow.
How sad is that?
Hate to see my school on the list, but I believe it will be.
Yeah. Emmanuel, I came to you. Did I come to you?
Yes.
I did. Leo, you're up.
I mean, the extent that these schools will do to protect their reputation, that they will hide predators in their mix. That's what it is. They are so okay with keeping their reputations intact, that they hiding these predators in the mix of the sheep. Like these kids are coming through right for the slaughter. And I salute this young woman that she kept bringing her case forward.
A year.
Kept bringing her case forward.
Whew.
And they never took it to the police. I just don't. You know, the part that really gets in my craw is the fact that they want the people to pay $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year to go to these schools,
right?
For our children to get maligned and assaulted, and nobody takes accountability. Y'all protect the abuser. That's the part I can't get over. People is paying all this cash to go to Columbia, and y'all run around here protecting the abuser. That's the part I can't get over. And the things this man allegedly did was horrific to this young woman. And it's not just him. That's another thing too. So it's not just him. It's a lot of them doing that. There are a lot of predators on this campus, and a reckoning is due. Yesterday, men, women, all the people are being assaulted on this campus. And they brushing it up under the rug, trying to protect the reputation of the school. Now, going back to the wife, I am still not quite sure whether or not she knew or did not know, because she was willing to be told she's an 8. Like, how you rating your woman? I don't even understand the language, but you know, that's what she decided to speak on camera and say, that you were 8.5 on everything. You ain't great on nothing. But he did say I was a 9 because of my body. I was like, girl, why you gonna speak on this like this is a good thing?
Right.
So she might be in the headspace too. She might be, you know, emotionally manipulated. And so this man is a menace to society, y'all.
Woo. Understatement, right?
Right.
Understatement. You know what? There's a woman now that's coming out now, interviewed by Tasha K. Was allegedly Kevin Hart's, or she said the Hart's assistant. And she said, you know, Kevin Hart has a gambling problem, allegedly, and he cheats all the time. Now, do I think he's not a cheater? He cheated on his first wife, even allegedly, even though he claimed he did not. But allegedly, he was with the first wife when he got with Aniko, right? So, everybody, according to this assistant and this assistant herself, lets Aniko know that, you know, your man's a cheater, and these people apparently, according to this assistant, they've been getting pregnancy after pregnancy after pregnancy, right? So I say all of that to say what? The wife knows something. The wife knows something. Usually, to change a behavior, you have to want to change that behavior, and you have to put in the work to change that behavior. I don't know. I just don't think he woke up after he graduated from Columbia University and decided that he was no longer going to take advantage of people. And I'm saying it that way, people, because this is YouTube. But you understand what I'm trying to say. I doubt it never happened on any of his jobs he worked. I doubt that it never, you know, that it didn't happen when he was in the NFL. I doubt, come on, this behavior didn't just go away. But the things we ignore so we can have a 90-inch screen TV in a 10,000 square foot home with 17 bathrooms, 8 bedrooms, a tennis court, a basketball court, and for what? So you can sit up on TV and say your man said you were 8.5 and you proud about that? Y'all can have this kitchen. You can have these 22 bathrooms. I hate cleaning 1.5. Imagine all of that. And for what? And for all to crash and burn and you be my next door neighbor anyway when everything about your husband comes out. The thing you're trying to avoid is the place you're going to end up at. Gwendolyn, thank you so much for the super chat. Predators help high predators. Well, oh my goodness. Well, you said a word right there. You said a word right there. Evil protects evil. You said a word right there. The fact that this girl, I hope that girl at Columbia University that had to carry that mattress around for 1 year before they finally said, okay, we are expelling this guy. I hope she didn't know Columbia University a dime for her education. You had to lug your mattress around a whole year for them to finally say, okay, we're going to do something about this. Then you try to prevent her from bringing it to graduation. Julius, you're up.
Wow. I'm speechless.
Mm-hmm.
This man, by all instances, has been doing this for a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it was any of us, and I got to give flowers to Emmanuel because he hit it on the head perfectly. And I agree outright what he has said. It's all I can say is I co-sign Emmanuel's statement. I'm just speechless.
I appreciate you, Julius. Tay, did I skip you?
Well, your thing went shifted.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
You talk. You could talk.
This is the sad world we live in. Predator hunt is prey. I'm gonna speak to all the women and the men in the chat and the panel too. All I said is you better protect yourself. Looking for the red sign flag. And be careful what they say. Keep your aiming closer. Keep your friends closer, but keep your aiming closer. And shame on that school right there too, Diva.
Mm-hmm.
That school should supposed to be protected. Oh no, they hired a predator. It's disgusting, Diva. That school should be shame itself.
I agree with you.
That's my thought.
Thank you. I agree with you. Thank you so much, Tay. Wayne, your thoughts? Wayne, are you there?
You bid me the
I have. Okay, did I go to Denzel? Because my screen keeps swapping.
No, not yet.
Okay, you're out.
This is very disgusting and sick.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad for the victim, and I hope that she's getting some therapy, and I hope I'm praying for her healing. But shame on, where's that college called? That university, Columbia
University, yes.
Columbia University. Shame on them for protecting this predator. Ooh. Shame on them. Mm-hmm. And she told them time and time again, and they didn't do nothing. Nothing. This is really sick. And you know what? She needs to sue that university, and they need to get rid of the people that didn't do nothing. She needs to sue them, and they're gonna get their karma too. They're gonna get their karma for not doing nothing. And the thing is, you know what, I want to say this. Did Anne-Marie knew what her husband was doing? That I don't know, but she probably did. She probably did. And the sick thing and the sad thing about it, they got children together.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sick and the crazy thing. They got children together. You know what? I think, Diva, I might be wrong, but I think they're probably gonna fire her off the show because she's a liability. She's
Right.
She's a liability, huh?
No, you no, I hear you, but you know what? Unfortunately, with Bravo,
What?
90% of their cast is a liability on any given show.
And you know what? True that, Diva. You right about that. You are right about that. You are right about that. And you know what? And I wonder you know what? For the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion, I wonder, is Andy gonna ask her that do questions? I was just wondering. But that's it, and that's all, Diva. It's sick.
It is sick. Listen, guys, this apparently is a widespread problem, and it is extremely sad. And I really thank everybody for the conversation. Y'all know I always try to end with a really feel-good story, and tonight will be no exception. Let's hear this story. I just need 2 minutes and 22 seconds, and then we'll close out.
Of giving that the greatest gift.
Okay,
beautiful.
Wasn't that a great?
That was sweet.
You never know what people are going through. And this man, first he minded the noise, then he found out the story behind the noise, and he helped a perfect
Turned
stranger.
it into a blessing.
Didn't he though? Listen, guys, thank you. Yes. Thank you guys for coming through. I truly appreciate y'all. Hope you have a happy and amazing holiday. Hope all is going well for you so far. Listen, guys, at these universities, at the jobs, at wherever, we got to protect ourselves from these predators. You have individuals who spoke up in the moment and still was not heard and taken seriously. If y'all didn't hit the like button coming in, please hit the like button going out. I appreciate y'all. See you next time. Have a good night.
Good night.
Y'all have a great night. Bye.
Merry Christmas.
Good night.
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holiday.